Welcome to Fake Love and Flying Monkeys, the podcast where fake love is exposed. I'm Nova Gibson and I am your host. I'm the principal counsellor at Brighter Outlook Narcissistic Abuse Counselling.com.au. This space is dedicated to helping you reclaim your worth and understand the impact of toxic relationships with suspected narcissists. You deserve clarity, healing, and freedom from the pain of fake love and flying monkeys. So please leave a review and grab a copy of my book, Fake Love, Understanding and Healing from Narcissistic Abuse. Let's uncover the truth and take back your power. Hi everyone and welcome to another episode of Fake Love and Flying Monkeys. This episode is one that I have had so many requests for, so I'm really excited to be able to talk about it. Not excited that so many of you have to experience it, but excited to be able to explore what it's like, how to protect yourself, how to deal with having a narcissistic neighbour. Having a narcissistic neighbour is a special kind of nightmare, if there's special kinds of nightmares. It's not just about that typical bad neighbour situation that you see on the sitcoms and on telly and you read about it. It's not just a clash of personalities or someone who's a little bit too nosy or a little bit too loud. They've got their music playing and you're trying to go to sleep. No, we are talking about full-blown chaos in suburban packaging. You think you're safe behind your front door, but you have this narcissistic neighbor, this person next door who just does not want you to have peace. So buckle up, grab your cuppa, and let's dive into the reality of living next to someone who is quite literally hell-bent on making your life miserable and enjoying every minute of it. So the confusing behavior always starts small. Well, most of the time, right? They're not going to come and chop down the tree in your front yard on the first day you move in. Or maybe some of them will, but they've got to start small with the confusing behavior normally. So you see that red flag? Wow, that wasn't too respectful. Should I go and talk to them or should I just ignore it? You know, I don't want to be that kind of a neighbor. So you let that behavior slide, whatever it was. You know, at first, maybe you think they're just a little intense, a bit overbearing. Maybe they corner you at the mailbox and start grilling you about your visitors having cars too close to their driveway, or something's wrong with your bins or your lawn, and you're thinking, okay, well, maybe they're just lonely. But then these red flags turn into a red flag brigade when this behavior escalates. And is a narcissist really a narcissist if they haven't engaged in a full-blown smear campaign? Yes, the old classic. If you have not had your reputation dragged through the neighborhood grapevine, are you even dealing with a narcissist? This is what they do. And it starts off small, very subtly. You might overhear your other neighbor saying something strange about you, or your mail starts going missing, or someone suddenly stops waving at you when you walk by, and then it hits you. They're talking about me. The narcissist has actually had the audacity to go door to door, perhaps, with their poor me story. I've tried everything to be a good neighbor, but they're so difficult, so aggressive, so rude. And you're thinking to yourself, what? Me? Aggressive? You've barely said more than a polite hi for months because you've been trying not to poke that bear, but it doesn't matter. The narc's version of events will always paint them as the victim. They love an audience, and the neighborhood is their stage to perform on. As with all narcissists, the narcissistic neighbor is all about control. They're obsessed with control, and not just over you, but over the entire neighborhood, hopefully. Your garden, they'll have an opinion about it. Your fence, it's too high. Or you'll have some kind of vine or something that's leaning or growing over into their land. Your guests, too loud. Your dog, dangerous. Your kids, noisy. Can't you shut them up? And the reality, guys, is that it doesn't matter how much you bend, try to accommodate or explain, it will never be enough. Why? Because they don't actually want peace. They love the drama and they love the control. They want to know that you're dancing around them, trying to please them. It even excites them knowing you're trying to avoid them, because then, of course, they'll go out of their way to make sure that you see them. They will know your routine and place themselves in a position where you will feel frustrated, confused, or intimidated by them. They want to know that you're anxious before hosting a barbecue. What are they going to do to ruin this special occasion? Because they might come stomping over with some complaint. They want you to be rattled. So one strategy that narcissistic neighbor will regularly engage in is the old driveway standoff, where you'll be doing the old sitting in your car, waiting till they go inside, shuffle, because you just don't want them to confront you and you don't want to have to talk to them. So you're sitting in your car in the driveway, keys in the ignition, pretending to scroll on your phone, something like that, just to avoid a confrontation. What a way to live. Or maybe you're hiding behind the curtains. You feel like you can never open your curtains and let the sun shine in for fear that you'll see them looking right back at you from their open curtains. You see where they are so you can quickly duck out and put your bins there. Now, all of these situations, and the ones I'm going to be talking about soon, might seem a little silly to other people who haven't lived it, even a little funny perhaps, but it's not when you're living it. It's very real. That low-key dread in your chest every time you hear their gate open or their car pulling into their driveway, or you see them watching you from their front window. Narcissistic neighbors can ruin your life, cause you to move into a completely different neighborhood, leaving all of your previous friends behind, making you change your kids' schools, and certainly having to sell that home that you love. But they want your safe space to be a battlefield, and this is so destructive in the lives of people who live through it every day. And as the abuse escalates, you'll find that the complaints never stop. You never have a moment of peace. These neighbours have your local council's number on speed dial. They've got it saved in their phone. They'll complain about your bins, your pets, your visitors, your fence, your hedge, as I said earlier. Your outdoor lights will be shining into their yard, your Christmas decorations and your music, even if it's on at 5 p.m. at a very reasonable volume. They'll call the police for that attention, and of course to make you feel so frustrated and powerless. Sometimes they'll escalate it with letters, legal threats, fake reports, parking disputes, noise complaints, but they're favorite tactic, or one of them, is paper trails. They want documentation. They want you feeling watched. So they will do what so many narcissists do. They will get you to engage in reactive abuse and then get that video camera, record you, of course, not record the lead up when they were baiting you into reacting, and then take that video to court. And victims often will have the reverse of what should be given from the court, which is that they're the abuser and the narcissistic neighbor is the victim. But I think the one that hurts the most is that they manipulate your community. They manipulate the neighbors where you felt safe to live around, that you could rely upon. They manipulate their perceptions to get to you. They will charm the pants off your other neighbors. They might even throw their odd barbecue and give out little Christmas treats, wave cheerily from their driveway. So when you go to talk about the abuse, people don't believe you because they'll present to everyone else as this kind, concerned citizen, this model neighbor even. Meanwhile, you are the only one who knows what goes on behind closed gates. The smirks, the passive-aggressive notes, the subtle intimidation, the silent stares, the false accusations. And if you try to speak up, you appear bitter, overreactive, because everyone else thinks, oh, they're so lovely to me. It's infuriating, isolating, and it is designed to be that way. Another strategy that the narcissist neighbor will use potentially in the beginning is the silent treatment. The silent treatment neighbor edition is where the abuse isn't loud. Sometimes it's just icy. You walk out of your front door and you get nothing. You wave, smile at them, but they look the other way. No eye contact, no greeting, just that cold presence looming next door. So you try to be a friendly neighbor. You want to coexist peacefully, but they refuse. They'll stand on their property and stare at you like you've committed some war crime. They will refuse to acknowledge your presence unless it's to glare or smirk at you. And they will engage in emotional warfare, just delivered quietly. So what do you do when this is ongoing? It's happening to you. Well, many people start to feel like a prisoner in their own home. That's the worst part. And it's not even about the things they do anymore. It's how you feel because of it. So powerless and just not enough evidence to get those consequences from the authorities. You don't want to open up your blinds. You hesitate before inviting people over. You monitor your dog more than you should. And you're tiptoeing around your own yard, working out when they're in their backyard or when they're going to be home, just so you can avoid them. You start to change your habits. You're trying to avoid any interaction, any complaint, any drama. You're walking on eggshells all the time. But no matter how much you shrink yourself, it will never be enough. And of course, that's the point. They don't want harmony. They want power. They want control, and they want you to give them your peace. There needs to be so much more understanding in the legal profession around the psychological toll that living next door to a narcissistic, abusive neighbor has on the victim. It's no different to being with an intimate partner. The coercive control, narcissistic abuse strategies are exactly the same and cause exactly the same damage. So let's get real. Dealing with a narcissistic neighbor can wreck your mental health. You feel hypervigilant, jumpy, anxious, angry, drained. It can destroy your relationship with your partner, tear families apart. Your nervous system is constantly on edge, like you're waiting for the next thing to go wrong, the next letter, the next complaint, the next encounter. And it is so hard to explain to people who haven't been through it. They think, just ignore them or just move. But when you're living it, it's not that simple. It's your home. It's your sanctuary, or at least it was. So how do you cope when you just can't pack up and leave? Moving just isn't an option. Well, here's a few things you can do. Number one, document everything. Every interaction. This does not make you like them. It makes you someone who is trying to protect themselves. And of course, gather evidence so people, the authorities, will believe you. Document every note, every incident, dates, times, screenshots. Narcissists love to twist reality, so keep the receipts. Number two, keep your cool. They want you to lose it. That's their fuel. So stay calm, composed, and as boring as possible. Grey rock them into oblivion. Number three, don't engage unless absolutely necessary. You don't want to try to win them over. Don't try and explain yourself. Don't jade with them. Justify, argue, defend, explain emotions. You can't reason with someone who's committed to misunderstanding you. Number four, protect your peace. Use noise machines, privacy screens, cameras, if needed. Block out their presence as much as you can. Number five, connect with people who believe you. Find a support group online. Talk to a therapist. Vent to your trusted friends. You are not imagining this, and you are not alone. So, final thoughts are, guys, you are not crazy. They are as toxic as you think they are. Living next to a narcissist is a soul-sucking experience. You will doubt yourself, you'll lose sleep, and you will question your sanity. But trust me, it is not you. It's them, and also you're not alone. The world has so many people suffering in silence next to friendly neighborhood, friendly in inverted commas, neighborhood narcissists who are just running silent smear campaigns and creating domestic warfare through flower beds and fence lines. If this is your life right now, please know that you are seen. You are not crazy, and you deserve peace. Even if you're not there yet, one day you will be. And that brings us to the end of another Fake Love and Flying Monkeys episode. I hope you found that episode insightful, guys. Far too common in our society, and just no help out there for the people who are going through this because of the covert, insidious nature of the abuse. Yes, we need so much awareness, or so much more awareness out there to help victims so they don't have to leave their beautiful home. Now, if you are going through this journey, or you are suffering in silence because of some other issue in your narcissistic abuse recovery, please just see the link in my description, my website, to book a one-on-one Zoom counselling session, where you will also find a link to my best-selling book, Fake Love, Understanding and Healing from Narcissistic Abuse. Please leave a rating and a review, guys. That's the best thing you can do. And of course, share, share, share. On that note, it's bye from me for now. Until tomorrow's episode, please remember, you are worthy of love, and you are worthy of so much more than a lifetime of fake love and flying monkeys.